Puts up the two-pointer, puts it in! Jeremy Lin with 31! Gets inside, banks it in! Wow!
How about that? How about that?
Lin for three, bang!
Jeremy, you just closed out a game against Kobe Bryant. What enabled you to have the kind of night you did?
In February 2012, one of the NBA's most unforgettable stories took center stage. The New York Knicks were spiraling, having dropped 11 of the last 13 games. Head coach Mike D'Antoni, out of answers and running on fumes, decided to take a shot in the dark. He turned to Jeremy Lin, a little-known guard who had barely seen the court that season, logging just 55 minutes. What happened next was nothing short of incredible. Lin stepped up and instantly became the best player on the floor.
Little fancy shot clock at 8, splits the defense again, gets to the rim, puts it in, and a foul! Wow.
He took charge, leading all scorers with 25 points and 7 assists, finally stopping the Knicks' losing streak in its tracks. Skeptics called it a fluke, but Lin silenced the doubters in the very next game, lighting it up with 28 points and 8 assists.
Keeps it alive, Lin has to put it up, bang! A three-pointer as the shot clock expires!
Then came a showdown with John Wall and the Washington Wizards. Lin was unstoppable, putting on another masterclass with 23 points on an efficient 9 for 14 shooting and dishing out 10 assists.
Straight times. Nobody stopping Jeremy Lin on that play.
The basketball world couldn't believe it. Linsanity was officially born.
Linsanity.
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 This was a phenomenon unlike anything the basketball world had ever witnessed. I mean, here was a player of Asian descent turning the NBA into his personal playground, dominating in a way that defied expectations.
Now pulls up for the jump shot, got it off the glass!
But as the schedule loomed, the entire world knew what was coming next. On February 10th, 2012, Kobe Bryant, the Black Mamba, the NBA's leading scorer at the time, was heading to Madison Square Garden with the Los Angeles Lakers. And in a pregame interview, Kobe shrugged off the hype, pretending to be completely unaware of the Jeremy Lin frenzy sweeping the league.
You go to New York and you deal with the Linsanity. Have you been following that story at all?
What?
Jeremy Lin, are you following that story at all?
No idea. I know who he is, but I don't really know what's going on too much.
Let's be real here for a sec. I know, you know, we all know Kobe was fully aware of the Linsanity phenomenon by then. But regardless, Jeremy Lin heard the slander loud and clear, and on this fateful day, Kobe Bryant was about to get a front row VIP pass to the Linsanity show.
Lin on the drive, gets inside, banks it in! Kobe Bryant, that's good! Bryant answers right back. What a duel, and who thought it'd be these two?
If Kobe Bryant truly didn't know who Jeremy Lin was, he was about to learn fast, because Lin wasted no time making his presence felt. He came out on fire, setting the tone early, not by just scoring, but by orchestrating the game with a flair straight out of Steve Nash's playbook.
Good fade ahead, and Chandler throws it down.
The game was still in its early stages, but Linsanity was already in full swing, with Lin single-handedly dismantling the Lakers. Now, I might not have a degree in body language, but you didn't need one to see that Kobe wasn't too pleased with how Lin was turning his team into a highlight reel. As you might expect, Kobe, ever the fierce competitor on both ends of the floor, decided to take matters into his own hands and personally stepped up to guard Lin. Lin, however, didn't let pride or ego dictate his game. Instead of forcing the issue and going directly at Kobe, he stayed composed, focusing on making the right plays, and those decisions led to buckets.
11 from the field. Novak will try again. That's good. He's had 5 threes in each of the last 2 games.
If Kobe hadn't taken Linsanity seriously at the start of the game, it didn't take long for him to realize he had no choice but to. Because on the scoreboard, he was getting Lin sanitized. At the start of the second quarter, it was clear that Kobe and the Lakers had adjusted their game plan to contain Jeremy Lin by getting physical with him.
Right now, if we look at Lynn's arms, all right, it'd be red because Blake just hit him there at least 4 times.
What they didn't realize, though, was that Lin's sanity was unstoppable that night, fully unleashed and refusing to be contained.
Knocks it down and a foul. They put a body that time, and Lin with a chance for a three-point play.
I don't think he's worrying very much about the body contact.
Jeremy Lin was electric at this point, fired up and thriving. He was having his cake and eating it too. Funny enough, just as Kobe took notice, he checked back into the game. Whatever this spectacle was, the likes of which he'd never encountered in his career, he didn't like it one bit, and he was determined to shut it down fast. Kobe began doing what he does best, diving deep into his arsenal of moves and switching to full-on Black Mamba mode, determined to put an end to what he saw as madness. Though his shots weren't falling, he relentlessly attacked the rim, got to the free throw line, and knocked them down with precision. His integrity sparked his team, and before long, what looked like a potential blowout turned into a tightly contested game.
Pau Gasol left open, knocks it down, and it's a 5-point game.
By now, Jeremy Lin could feel the pressure mounting, while Kobe Bryant, he was beginning to smell blood in the water. Or so it seemed. Going toe-to-toe with the Black Mamba, Lin struck back with fearless determination and shifted into full insanity mode, leaving everyone in awe.
Sensational play for Jeremy Lin. And the Spartan crowd on its feet again.
In an instant, the roles were reversed. Now it was Kobe feeling the pressure, missing a shot on one end, only to watch Lin capitalize with a transition bucket on the other. The crowd was on their feet, and who could blame them? They were watching one of the most unbelievable NBA stories unfold in real time against one of the game's all-time greats. The Lakers had no choice but to call a timeout, and as Kobe walked back to the bench, it was clear this was his first true welcome to insanity moment. What was said in that timeout? Who knows? But one thing was certain. After that short break, Kobe and the Lakers were laser focused on shutting Lin down. I mean, Kobe was locked in, dropping into his signature defensive stance, making it crystal clear to Lin that this was personal and that he knew exactly who he was up against. The other Lakers, Fisher included, were making it clear to Lin that things were about to get serious. At halftime, it was still an 8-point game, still anybody's for the taking, but the standout player of the night, none other than the guy Kobe claimed to know little about. And as Kobe walked into the tunnel, you can bet that player was the only thing on his mind. Kobe didn't look too pleased as the second half began. I mean, a missed shot on one end, Lin scoring on the other, and then Kobe getting double-teamed before even crossing half court. It was a tough opening stretch, to say the least. Kobe was doing everything he could to will himself into the game, digging deep into his arsenal of moves, but sometimes it's just one of those nights when the shots refuse to fall.
Kobe Bryant continues to struggle from the field, 1 for 9.
What you had to admire about Kobe, though, was his refusal to back down from a challenge. Even with his shots not falling, he didn't hesitate to take on the defensive task of guarding this rising phenomenon. Meanwhile, Lin continued to make all the right plays, keeping the Knicks firmly ahead with a double-digit lead.
The pass from Lin to the opposite corner, and then Walker fakes the three and takes it to the hole.
And then it happened. Kobe finally sank a shot. Ironically, it was the most difficult one he'd taken all game.
1 for 11. That's one of the toughest shots he's taken tonight.
Mike, the angle.
They say all a scorer needs is to see one shot fall, and that's exactly what happened with Kobe. In the blink of an eye, a 12-point lead had shrunk to just 4, leaving the arena buzzing. For the rest of the third quarter, it was a back-and-forth showdown, with Kobe and Lin trading buckets, whether at the free throw line or from the field. It was the Black Mamba going head-to-head with Linsanity in a battle for the ages.
What a duel, and who thought it'd be these two?
The crowd was in for a show that night, as the fourth quarter picked up right where the third quarter had left off. Earlier, Kobe could smell blood, but now it looked like he could taste it. With the Lakers trimming the lead to just 3, Mike D'Antoni had seen enough. It was time to turn back to Linsanity, calling Lin off the bench with a clear message: "We need you back in the game." And Lin, he wasted no time regaining control, getting the Knicks offense back on track. Just moments ago, the game had tightened to a 3-point margin, but within minutes of Lin checking back in, the Knicks had stretched it back to a 9-point lead. Jeremy Lin was single-handedly keeping Kobe Bryant and the Lakers at bay.
Pull-up jump shot. Knocks it down. 29 for
That's when Kobe cranked it up a notch, pulling out all kinds of crazy moves to keep the fight alive.
What a play from Kobe Bryant.
Talk about heads up. He was double teamed.
Still though, every time Kobe launched an attack, Lin answered right back, matching him eye for eye.
Crowd wants him. Puts up the two-pointer. Puts it in. Jeremy Lin with 31.
The crowd was going wild, and why not? This was, without a doubt, the peak of Linsanity. Once again, Kobe gave it his all to shut this down, picking Lin up full court. But this time, Lin blew past him with ease, dished it out, and through the beautiful chaos of basketball, the ball made its way back to Lin in the corner, where he calmly drilled the 3.
Lin for 3. Bang!
By this point, Kobe seemed a bit deflated, and who wouldn't be? The guy he picked up at half court just moments ago had now buried a 3, pushing his team's lead to 13 with about 5.5 minutes left in the fourth. And Jeremy Lin? This was likely the pinnacle of his career, showing Kobe Bryant, one of the greatest players of all time, who was in charge right at home in Madison Square Garden under the bright lights of the Big Apple. But Kobe never gives up. He did everything in his power, stealing the ball, scoring relentlessly, and even throwing in some trash talk aimed at the Knicks head coach. Lin, however, delivered the dagger with a smooth drive that sealed the deal against Kobe and the Lakers.
Gets inside, banks it in. Wow!
Madison Square Garden erupted. The crowd was on their feet roaring, and even Carmelo Anthony couldn't help but stand and soak in the moment. One thing about Kobe is undeniable. He never gives up until the final buzzer. Quit simply doesn't exist in Kobe's vocabulary, and the commentators knew that all too well. Just listen to this. It's a 5-point game and the Knicks are at the free throw line.
Another missed free throw.
Main thing is you got to get one, because we know that's a 2-possession game, but you do not want Kobe to come down and be able to get 2 threes.
Even with just 15 seconds left and a 6-point cushion, they couldn't help but fear what Kobe might pull off. Kobe and the Lakers had one last chance to make it a game, but fate had other plans. Kobe tripped and fell, and with that stumble, the game was effectively over. Anyway, Lin looked like he could hardly believe he had just beaten Kobe Bryant. And Kobe, well, it was clear he now fully understood what Linsanity was all about. And just like that, the legend of Linsanity continued to grow.
And the Knicks will win it. Linsanity continues.
After the game, Lin was asked if Kobe now knew who he was. Here's what he had to say.
Jeremy, you knew somebody was going to ask you this, but do you think Kobe knows who you are now?
You guys had to ask Kobe, so I don't know. Maybe he helped me up today during the game, so he might know who I am.
Anyway, on another note, let me ask you this. Do you want to hear about the most embarrassing basketball game I've ever witnessed? It happened during Game 5 of the 2024 WNBA Finals, the decisive rubber match. I went in with an open mind, ready to watch without judgment. But honestly, it was downright embarrassing. If you want to know exactly what I mean, click on this video right here where I break it all down.